Flyers fall 3-2. A game that, well, they were competitive. The first period, they only put 3 shots on net, and it feels like from that moment on, Bundy, they kind of had themselves behind the 8 ball. They did manage to, they took a 1-0 lead in that first period, then they gave up 2, including one very late in the first period. Second period, you get a goal out of Nichushkin. You have a goal that comes off the boards to Konecny on a breakaway. Third period, you have a Trevor Zegras play where he's given the penalty shot.
Yep.
Second time this season, he's awarded a penalty shot and can't convert. Unfortunately, he's great in the shootout, but the actual penalty shots in the game.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2 this year.
0 for
penalty
2
shots. I don't know if he's missed a shootout one yet.
Yeah,
I don't think he has, but good third period by the Flyers. They just couldn't get through on Colorado and get one over to tie it. The best chance they had to tie it was that penalty shot. They just weren't able to capitalize.
And it was rough, too, because, we said in the second intermission, coming out of that, Flyers had a power play. And it was like, you fundamentally could flip the game on its head if you were the Flyers. If you tie it up in the first minute and a half or so of that period. They failed to do so. They did have some sustained possession in this game, especially in the third period. You and I were talking about it all throughout the third. I mean, I think it was from the 12 or 13-minute mark remaining to the end of the game. It just felt like they had the Avs on their heels the entire time. They just couldn't find the back of the net.
Avs were completely wiped out by the third period, as we predicted after the second intermission. They were gassed, and they really did. They really did hold on for the win here tonight. They did. They kept things as best they could to the perimeter. The Avalanche did, and the Flyers just were not able to penetrate anything into that middle of the ice area. They tried, it just wasn't there. And Colorado, kind of like short-winded team today, they still find a way to win a hockey game.
There's that old adage about hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work. And I wouldn't say today is an example of not working. I think it really was exhaustion on the part of Colorado. But that just goes to show you that when you are a team that has as much elite talent as Colorado does, you cannot play your best game. You can really empty. I mean, I would argue they emptied the clip in the first period. They managed to, get one across in the second. And the third, it was hang on for your life. And they did.
Yeah.
And that is an elite team.
They're the best team in the league.
We talked about it pregame. I mean, they had a plus 48 goal differential coming into tonight, so now they're a plus 49 for the season. And Bundy, I hit intern with this though. Do you know what the top 2 teams ever in terms of goal differential were, or like how big of a goal differential it was? Because it might blow your mind.
For an entire season.
For an entire season.
I'm going to say it's got to be plus 100.
Way higher.
Way higher. Oh, you're going back into the 80s too. So
70s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70s.
Let me see here. So they played, let's say, 75. I'm going to say then it's probably 150.
Even higher. The 1970-71 Bruins were a plus 192.
Jesus.
And that's only the second highest goal differential, Bundy. The 1976-77 Canadiens were a plus 216.
Yeah. What year was that?
76-77.
Yeah, they were one of the greatest teams ever.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but I mean that's still crazy.
Crazy numbers.
Like
crazy
bananagrams. I mean, if you kind of played this out over the course of the rest of the season, could the Avs get to a plus 100 goal differential?
They could.
In theory they could. I don't think you're knocking on the door of any of the. I believe that the Canadiens had the other 3 top totals in the top 5, and they were all over 100. I think they were all around 120, 130 in the positive. But this Colorado team is a fantastic one, and I know that people were looking at it coming in and saying, hey, well, the Islanders hung 6 goals on them, so anything's possible. This 3-2 result, Sam Ersson was in net. I would say that this is one of those games where you look at it and say, that has to be something of a confidence booster.
Sure.
Confidence builder for Ersson to hold Colorado to only 3 goals on the night.
He played a good game today. He was solid when he had to be. I probably would like the third one back, the Nichushkin shot, but it happened so quick. Just a soft wrister found its way up over his blocker, and that was a tough goal to give him the 3-1. But I'll give the Flyers a lot of credit today. They didn't quit. They generated a lot in the third period. They really tried to take advantage of a tired Colorado team that's playing 3 games in 4 days and in a second of a back-to-back. Just wasn't to beat today, but they don't have anything to hang their heads on. They played a strong hockey game.
I see Vineet Singh here, very upset about Hathaway. Says we actually had chances. Any NHLer would have buried that feed from Gerbenkin to the net front, but unfortunately we play Hathaway. I brought this up to Meltzer pregame. I get the thought process of, well, Garnet Hathaway is a good penalty killer for this team. I'm not trying to minimize how important a penalty kill is. But like, Bundy, do you think at some point the coaching staff, the front office, maybe together, they look at it and they say, yo, we don't think that Garnet Hathaway is like a garbage player out of nowhere. Like, he had a good year last year. He certainly hasn't looked anywhere near that level this year.
No.
Do they maybe think about sitting him for a game or two and try to get his head back on straight? And you and I talked about how Simmons, when he got to the end, like, it was just a precipitous fall off. Not ready to say Hathaway's like in that spot of his career, but it has been a very staggering drop off year over year.
Yeah, his best asset is the energy that he brings, right? And being kind of a pest on the ice. And when he's not doing that, he's not as effective or as efficient a player as we've seen in the past. And I feel like this year he's been kind of behind the play a little bit.
Yeah.
Like getting into those energy areas where you can create the havoc and turn pucks over. It just hasn't happened. I think it's a matter of him just keep working. Just keep trying to dig in and to try to find his game. Again, benching him, I don't know what that's going to do at this point. They're still playing.
I just wonder if it's a clear your head kind of thing. The same way that you do it for a young player, where it's just like, just take a game.
Yeah, it's possible.
Process it that way.
Yeah, it's possible.
So for this week, we have a bevy of shows. Flyers play Tuesday, they play Thursday, and they play Saturday. And we have a Snow the Goalie radio in the middle of all that. And I believe we've had a couple of changes to the schedule. So let me just kind of hit people real quick with some of the changes coming up. If you are looking to come out and join us for a live edition of Snow the Goalie radio on Wednesdays. This Wednesday, the 10th, we will be at Roosevelt Boulevard, Northeast Philly location. On the 17th, we'll be at Drexel Hills, Chickies and Pete's. And
how's Anthony get 2 in a row in Drexel Hill? I haven't had one in Marlton yet.
I only had that one in Malvern at the very beginning. The first show.
How's he get another show there? That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
We should be in Marlton.
We should fight him. So anyway, we're at Northeast Philly this week, Drexel Hill next week, and then Bordentown, New Jersey. Where's Bordentown? Do you know where Bordentown is?
Yeah, it's up near Trenton.
I've never heard of Bordentown before.
Yeah, it's up 295.
I'm sure the Chickies there is wonderful.
It's a good Chickies.
Bordentown, we have 2 days before Christmas. That'll be a Tuesday edition of Snow the Goalie Radio. So anyway, again, Northeast Philly this week, Drexel Hill next week, Bordentown before Christmas, and then we end the year at Parks Casino. And then we'll talk about the new year in the new year. But we have a ton of shows. So I'm not saying that we're going to cut pregame incredibly short here, but we are going to cut it a little bit shorter than normal because we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll hear from us, and then next Saturday as well. Then the Flyers go away for a bit, and they come back on the 22nd.
Yes.
They have a game on the 22nd. Then the next day we have Snow the Goalie Radio, and then 2 days later is Christmas. So this very compact frame of time that they have. I don't know what that was. Oh, there was a touchdown. Somebody must have had money on the Bills. I think. I mean, somebody just got very, very excited about whatever.
Bills just scored, yeah.
So we have a lot of shows coming up this week. So we will be diving into all this. But Bundy, really quick before we head out, this is the topic of the day, I guess the topic of the week, and we briefly touched on this during second intermission. Maybe to level set for people this week, I fully expect that we are going to continue to hear the Flyers involved in trade negotiations and in trade speculation around just about everybody whose name has hit the market. Last week, Owen Tippett's name came up, and it seems like there was a rumor going around about Tippett being asked about by Vancouver. And one of the names that came out of Vancouver as a guy that they might be willing to move was Sherwood, which I don't really see the fit for here.
Right.
The guy that everybody wants out of Vancouver is Quinn Hughes. And I would assume pretty well here that would take a lot. So we'll speculate.
There's going to be other teams involved.
Yeah.
It's not like just the Flyers and the Devils, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, Quinn Hughes available. He's going to the Flyers. I get news for you. If Quinn Hughes really becomes available and people are interested, he's going to have 15 teams trying to get him.
Yeah.
With different packages.
There was a thing today. Was it Friedman was the one who put out that the Devils had conversations with the Canucks about Hughes? And you fully expect that.
But they're going to. He's got two brothers on the team.
Well, and listen, in the event that Vancouver ever decides to trade Quinn Hughes, I got news for you. You're going to have at least 15 offers on the table.
Yeah.
Of varying degrees and varying levels. So I fully expect the Flyers to be involved, though, which is always an exciting thing. I mean, it's been a while since the Flyers have had a GM that's like kind of pulled off one of those big balls moves, Bundy. I mean, you maybe go back to Homer as the last one to pull off something like that.
Homer loved the big move.
He did.
He loved the big move. He felt it was a way to keep the fans engaged and your team up on top of its heels. So it's pretty good. He was always good like that.
And the Flyers will need to have a big balls move. I mean, and to be fair, they're going to need to have a big balls move at some point in the next 2-3 seasons in order to kind of reach that next level where they want to go. So we will keep all eyes on it. So,
can I ask a question about that?
Oh, intern Andrew.
I've been wondering this for a while since
Yeah.
you mentioned that both Quinn Hughes and Rasmus Dahlin might both get dealt.
Yeah,
and that's interesting because they're two number one defensemen getting moved.
Dahlin's name, from what I've gathered, has not been dangled and really hasn't been discussed that much.
But let's just say, for the sake of this question, that he is. When Subban and Weber were traded for each other, were they both considered number ones at that point?
Weber was.
Subban probably was too.
Subban, I feel like he was in a spot where the stock was still rising on him a bit.
Yeah, the thing with Subban, he was just a good offensive guy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he's really good with offensively.
And Weber was a true number one. Are you floating the idea of a Quinn Hughes for Rasmus Dahlin swap? You dirty dog.
I was just curious.
You dirty dog.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That one.
But both of those teams aren't really competitive this year. Like the Canadiens and Predators at that point, I think were both competitive at least.
Yeah.
Nashville definitely was. Nashville went to the Cup final, I think, Subban's first or second year there.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that'll be interesting to see is at what point I'm not sure Buffalo is going to feel motivated to move Dahlin this year. They might.
Okay.
I have no idea. I mean, it feels like there have been other names that have been floated out there. Power's name was floated out there. Bo Byram's name was floated out there.
Yeah.
Thompson's name is one that people are waiting to hit the market. Buffalo, I think, at any given point can totally shock you. Like if we found out tomorrow that Dahlin was moved and Buffalo only talked to like one or two teams, would it really shock you?
Right.
I mean, like they do weird stuff all the time. The Vancouver thing is really the one to kind of have an eye on, just because that is Hughes is a true bona fide number one. And I think that the widely held belief, Bundy, correct me if I'm wrong, is like, if it's not New Jersey, there's a desire to at least be back on the East Coast. So, I don't think you rule out if there's a Western Conference team that wants to make a move. I don't think you rule it out. Maybe you try over the next year and a half to convince him to re-sign, but it is a calculated risk. No matter who acquires a Quinn Hughes, you can't negotiate a contract with him. You can't.
Right.
You're not allowed by the league to negotiate. Could you have a wink, wink, nudge, nudge handshake deal with an agent? Maybe. But you can't actually sign him to an extension yet. So
until July 1st of next year. Yeah.
And so you're in a real quandary there if you make the acquisition now. But man, if you're the Flyers, you certainly have to be involved in it. You expect the Devils to be. Could you see a team like the Rangers getting involved there, Bundy? Like same idea?
I don't know what they're going to do, because I've heard rumors they want to move, but possibly if they slip, they're going to try to move Panarin
before he becomes a free agent this summer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I think if nothing else, I expect there are going to actually be a few big names that are going to move between now and the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like the last few years, there's been a little bit of that. There have been some moves that have happened. You go, oh, that's interesting. I think this year will be the year, but we'll see. But I expect the Flyers are going to be involved. I mean, like I've been saying for a while, I think Danny Briere's got the chutzpah to go out and make one of those moves. And we said during one of the intermissions, I think that he's got enough of a war chest that you could, if you really wanted to, you could make a deal happen. It's just a matter of what's your pain threshold if you're going to try to go out and get one of those guys. It's going to cost you. If you try to make the trade right now, it's going to be an exorbitant price. If you wait till closer to the deadline, yes, there could be a bidding war, but I don't know if the cost is going to. The player's only under contract then from the trade deadline on and then next season. Right now, you get the most. You almost get 2 full seasons.